Okay, so a very good evening to all our attendees and viewers who are watching us live on Facebook and YouTube. A very warm welcome to the Author Saga series. Okay, a quick recap for those of you who are new to Pick a Book. Pick a Book is all about reading, more reading, and inculcating the habit of reading, research, and presenting the summary of it in our regular meeting sessions. Creating a better world by changing the sense of self through the habit of reading is the vision of Pick a Book. Currently, we Pick a Book marks its inspiring presence in four countries: Sri Lanka, India, Singapore, and UK, with over 1,000 plus readers, 18 plus regions, and 70,000 plus people inspired through our sessions, all in just a span of 1 year. So, Pick a Book continues to spread its wings across the globe, and we have come up with this beautiful initiative, a brand of its own called Author Saga series, wherein the authors can reach their readers and individuals with like-minded interests. Authors can also discuss key insights of their books, and the readers can have this wonderful opportunity to know more about the books from the author himself. So today we have with us Mr. Sanjeev Shekhar, who authored this beautiful book, A Deadlock.
Thank
Welcome,
you.
Mr. Sanjeev.
Thank you, Sarna. Thank you for introducing me.
Yeah,
It was really a privilege for me to get connected with you all and giving me such a beautiful platform. It's a rare opportunity that comes in the life of any author, and I am really thankful to you and your team.
we are grateful to you also. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, let us know a bit more about Mr. Sanjeev. He has experienced a variety of careers in the field of journalism, corporate communications, and human resource. He started his career as a journalist with Hindustan Times in 1994 and worked with major media houses like Star News and Channel 7, thereby acquiring stints in both electronic and print media. He did freelancing for Times of India and wrote on several websites. Currently, he is spearheading the efforts of corporate multinationals as head of HR and administration. He loves writing whenever he finds an opportunity. So he has a passion for writing and loves telling real life stories in the form of fiction. He admires his father, late Dr. Shaligram Yadav, who was a thinker and educationalist by passion. And his wife, Anita, has been a key to motivate him to continue with his writing stint. And that's because of that beautiful work of their family. And we are here with us with this wonderful book by Mr. Sanjeev. A very warm welcome once again, Mr. Sanjeev. Pleasure having you with us tonight.
It's my pleasure as well. It's my privilege, and I feel honored, particularly being with you and with my publisher, who has been all through my writing journey, Mrs. Vandana Palli. I'm very much thankful to her as well. Thank
Great.
you to the entire team
Yes.
for
On that
connecting me.
beautiful note, let me take this opportunity to congratulate you on this beautiful book, and we all wish you a long way in writing.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so to start with, Mr. Sheikh or Mr. Sanjeev, are you an avid reader?
Yeah, I have been an avid reader all through my life.
Hmm.
I have been reading a lot of things in my life, particularly the fiction stories, and that is
Okay,
why I am now into more into fiction writing.
okay, so that laid the roots of it. Good. So, okay, how did this whole journey as a writer start in first place?
Well, I started my career way back in 1994,
Mm-hmm.
and I started as a journalist from a very small place like Jamshedpur, and
Okay.
later on moved to Delhi and to various places where I did the journalism from print media as well as the electronic media.
Mm-hmm.
And in both the areas, I have done fairly well.
Mm-hmm.
And gradually, when I moved to the corporate career, I
Mm-hmm.
decided that I should continue with my writing.
Okay.
And as a writer, I always feel that I am ventilating the inner feeling or the things that I have in me. That is the
Exactly.
best way to ventilate. And I feel that writing, if you are aware of what you want to do in life, Writing
Mm.
is one of the medium wherein the personality of a person is actually blooming day by day.
Yes.
So this is something which is very important in life.
Great. So that's the beauty of a writer, because you will have the power to express yourself through the beautiful literature. So that can actually inspire a lot of people out there. Thank you so much on that. And what made you interested in writing this particular book, which is titled Deadlock, and why is it titled that way?
Well, if you see that deadlock has come because there are a lot of hiccups and a lot of taboo that is attached
Mm,
to the women folk. And I have attempted to delve on the issues,
mm,
particularly which has gripped the women related to their empowerment, liberty,
okay.
sensuality,
Mm,
and their rights in personal life.
okay.
Particularly, we have come a long way. Even
Mm,
in the modern age, there has been a change in the relationship of a man and a woman,
yes.
where the life where the marriage has taken a back seat. And if you see that it is even the women are aspiring for good career, and they
Yep.
want themselves to grow. They are today more dependent and more self-dependent rather in
Mm,
every way. And
mm,
they are seen no way in right now they are seen as a woman with substance,
yes.
wherein they are the people who are dictating terms to the society and to the
Yes.
people where they are working. So this is something which had encouraged me, and I thought that this is one of the topical issues which needs to be dealt with. And I
Hmm.
dealt with in the form of love story, where I
Okay.
have brought this deadlock. And
Mm,
love, if you see when a woman falls in love, there
mm,
are certain ifs and buts connected to her. It is
mm,
always there, whether the woman to whom she loves, uh, whether she is doing the right thing or the wrong thing. There are so many judgment that comes from the society
exactly.
whenever it is related to women,
Yep.
whereas this is not visible to their counterpart, the men. So
Mm,
naturally, I that factor drove me to probe and delve into such issue wherein I can deal with the women's story.
beautiful. So why is the title Deadlock?
Deadlock, if you see that in my
Mm,
novel, uh,
mm,
there is something which is where a woman has been treated as an
mm,
individual. She
okay.
has not been treated as a gender bias, just because
Mm,
she's a woman, she should be seen as a weaker sex or a fair sex,
mm,
something a matter of pleasure, or something who is compelled to do household chores like taking care of kids and meeting the traditional demands of looking after the
yep.
husband and children and everybody. Here, in my novel, if you see, there has been several steps that the women has taken on
Mm,
their own, the
mm,
proactive approach towards life and the pragmatic approach that has come in their way, and
okay.
they have taken that approach as well,
Yeah.
and they have been the drivers. They are
Mm,
not the derailers, they are the drivers. And these are the basic trait of a woman. When she is given an opportunity, she has the capacity to lead the society. And this is what
exactly.
I have brought out in my novel. So whenever she breaks the chain or she comes out of that, you know, the demarcation, she
Yes.
needs to come out of that deadlock. So that is why the
Exactly.
name Deadlock has come.
That's beautiful, very justifiable, I would say, because like how you said, yes, a woman has to herself come out of that deadlock, which which is usually the society try to put her in, or she herself sometimes think of it like as stick to the same thoughts, like, and as soon as she comes out of it, that's when she knows the real power of her. So that's a great way to put it to start with, Mr. Sanjeev. And okay, so what is the focus of your novel? How does it demonstrate the changing trends?
Swarna, if you see that life is changing very fast these days,
Mm-hmm.
and the trends that have emerged manifesting the change relationship status of a man and a woman.
Yeah.
Today, if you see, even making their own choice,
Yes.
they are not willing to take things for granted. They want to make their own choice. They want to decide things. And they are the people who are actually behaving like an individual and
Yes.
who are doing things as per their desire. It is not that
Mm.
somebody is asking them to do and then only they are following it. Gone are the days when they used to follow the instructions of the men folk. Now, even in marriage, if I have a daughter
Mm.
today, I need to ask her what type of a person you want to marry. This is
Yes.
something which has, the trend has changed,
Yeah.
one night stand or the live-in relationship, these are the things
Mm.
which have become the in thing. As I told you that
Yes.
marriage has taken a backseat. Today, even women
Mm.
are aspiring very high. They are dreaming high. They want to achieve higher
Mm.
goal. They have their own objective. So
Yeah.
certainly, we need to respect them. We need to respect their thought pattern. And the most
Mm.
important is that we need to accept the change because change is the
Mm.
only constant in life.
Constant.
And we need to abide
Exactly.
by it.
Yes. Yes, that is, I agree 100% to it because whatever the change that has come into the place, we have to accept it. So that's when only we can actually, bring in newness into life and we can achieve something on par with others along with us. So yes. Okay, so what should be the persona of a woman in changing times?
Yeah, if you take, the case of my novel, if I
Mm-hmm.
consider how do I define, because I'm not supposed to, I'm not an expert that who can define the person of a woman. I can only talk in text of my novel,
Yes,
where
yes.
woman is no more substance of pleasure, who
Mm.
is compelled to do certain things defined by the society, defined by the family members. No, they are
Yes.
looking much beyond that. The
Mm.
heroine of my novel, Misha,
Mm.
she is always discovering. She
Okay.
is a complete individual and a
Mm.
liberated woman who is
Mm.
having her own thoughts and deeds well recognized in society.
Okay.
She is at times a rebel as
Mm-hmm.
well as a survivor
Mm.
with grace.
Mm.
The novel actually, when we talk about it, it
Mm-hmm.
throw light on how contemporary women are
Mm-hmm.
looking at the issue of sexuality and conventional demands. Here, my
Mm.
novel probes love lust relationship and speaks for the identity of women, wherein the
Yes,
individuality of women is highly appreciated.
exactly. Exactly. So that is true. Women have come a long way, in trying and making a different persona of them. So I totally agree with you. That has to be done in the changing times, especially. So there's no more like previous situations wherein women have to is restricted to a particular things or is judged in a particular way. So now the things have changed, are going in a good direction, I would say. So everything is like it's only the women and the mindset about women that has to be changed.
Right.
So yes. So okay, so you have put the characters in the backdrop of a metro city, right? In the 90s, when people are just opening to globalization and yet not able to come out of certain traditions. So why is it the story of a big city?
Uh, basically, it is not the city which is important. For
Mm,
me, it is characters in my novel are coming up in a city which
mm-hmm.
is a big city, you can say. I
Okay.
humbly submit that it is just a fictional
Mm,
story in the
okay.
backdate. That's all. No matter
Okay.
whether it is big or small, whatever you want to say about it. Traditions, as we talk of, is creation of society and man. not
Mm.
only for the 90s, but it is there since time immemorial.
Yeah.
And the characters in my novel are actually much ahead of their time. They are
Mm.
fully self dependent women.
Mm.
They decide things,
Mm.
and they are the people who are actually leading the society.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about women who follow in the society, but I am
Yes.
talking about women who are
Who
leading the
leads?
society. So that is
Exactly.
something which is you know, a very important part or the crux of my novel,
Okay.
wherein I am focusing on women as leaders.
Yes. Super. Oh yes, I can't agree more on this because women, as such, she has the qualities to lead. But because, yeah, like how you said in the beginning itself, so whatever the work that is given to her, she has that capacity to lead and take it to a
Right,
different level. So definitely not a thing to be judged or underestimated for sure. So it's only that all she needs is the mindset that she can do it, and the non-judgmental mindset others have it. That leads women to a different state. So which we actually, we can see the trend already happening. So your novel is pretty much talking in the similar terms as well. So that's a good change to see. And I hope, ladies and gentlemen, women is a different now. Not as before, who is judged for everything she does, or who is restricted to a certain places or certain work spheres, or for that matter, she's not placed in one particular thing. She's now she can just open up, and she everything is now welcoming women for that matter. So that's great. Good. Okay, so the last line of the novel says women are not easily readable. Yeah, this is something I I personally want to know as well. So if we can't read them, how do we survive? Since she is an important part of our lives. So how do you relate women empowerment and women are not readable? So this is an interesting question, I would say.
yeah, Swarna, I would like to tell you
Mhm.
that you need to see in what context the remark has been made.
Yeah.
That women are not easily readable. The story flows in the manner wherein the heroine has been
Mm-hmm.
firm in her decision and thought. She
Okay.
is communicative and a very strong individual.
Mm-hmm.
The hero in the book, Shivraj, two
Okay.
things about Misha in the similar line.
Mm.
And, there's a, if you would have read a novel, read that
Mm-hmm.
novel, you
Mm.
must have seen that there is a scene where they separate after spending time in the hotel.
Mm.
And they had committed to each other not to call or
Okay.
not to connect after that.
Mm.
But Shiv, however, defies this.
Mm.
He calls up and is unable to believe that Misha is not responding to her and she is not willing to talk to her.
Okay.
This was unacceptable to Shivraj, and he apparently failed to read the wrong decision, or
Mm.
not the wrong decision. In fact, I will put it like it is a strong decision of a woman.
Mm.
This was unacceptable to Shivraj
Mm.
because he was thinking that she will be picking up the phone in any way,
Mm.
but she
Yeah.
could not do that, and she never did it. So that was something which was a decision of a woman not to pick up the phone, and the
Yes.
pact was already done after meeting in the hotel.
Mm.
So that what I want to emphasize is that even the man should realize that a
Mm.
woman decision, if she takes a decision, it matters, even if it is
Yes.
in a love relationship.
Yeah.
They were in love, but even if they are in love, in the relationship, the decision of a woman matters, and that was a very
Exactly.
harsh decision, but she
Yeah.
had taken it.
Yes.
So, women empowerment is, as you are talking about, is basically to promote the sense of self worth, their ability to
Mm.
determine own choices and the rights to influence change for themselves and others.
Exactly.
Misha knows her self worth.
Hmm.
She knows her choices, and she has the ability to bring about social change. She has been a very
Hmm.
big social worker, and
Yes.
she has always led the society where she lives in.
Hmm.
And she has impacted the lives of the several people by her services.
Yeah.
So this is something wherein I am talking about women empowerment all through my novel.
Hmm.
It is not that it is just to emphasize
Yeah.
that women empowerment is necessary. I'm trying to define it. It is by action, by decision, and by the approach
Yeah.
that the heroine of the novel adopts is
Exactly.
something which is self-explanatory in terms
Hmm.
of defining the self-empowerment.
True. 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 Um, See, a lot of times, I guess, they say this dialogue that women are not readable because, as you said, one thing is context based, and secondly, I think usually they'll have a pre-notion minds about women. Like she
Right.
is little vulnerable, and she's like keeps changing her mind, and that is what something people have to accept that women, though however vulnerable it is, a decision once made, she can be stick on that. A no is a no, be it whatever the gender it is. So
Right.
a no has to be respected the way it holds the meaning for it. So that is something which it's not easy to accept. Having been in such a state all these years. So usually they don't expect that from a woman having a firm decision. So that's where I think your character portrays it strong nature. A no is a no, even if it is from a woman.
Right.
Yes, great. Okay. So then, what is a more aesthetic and artistic part of your novel?
That is good. Entire
Mm,
novel is aesthetic and artistic in every way because I
okay.
have created the characters, I have created the romance, and you know the romance between the hero and the heroine.
Mm,
When you, I don't know, but I have got this feedback from my readers
okay.
that it actually moves in a cinematic form.
Okay.
The love between a man and a woman, their
Mm,
sense of belongingness, their sensuality, and their dream fly high in imagination,
mm,
longing to meet each other all the time. The
mm,
love is to the brim, wherein both Misha and Shiv,
mm,
they're trying very hard to meet each other, and they're
mm,
not able to do that despite
okay.
the fact they have the resources, they have the time, but
Mm,
some way or the other, maybe the destiny doesn't want it. So Misha and Shiv, they discusses their childhood infatuation. They
mm,
exchange comics and novels during their younger days to come closer. Their
mm,
school time crush, their liking for opposite sex are some of the beautiful representation of this what do you call love story, and
yeah.
it is always there in the book, which
Mm,
once you read it you will realize that
true.
I have already mentioned about certain love scenes in a very artistic manner.
True, true. That's the beauty of a fiction. So,
Yeah.
you can just put a lot of work to your creativity and imagination and,
Yeah,
give
and
the
Swarna,
character.
and
Mm.
Swarna, I don't want to tell the entire story because a reader
Yeah,
needs to find out. I
true,
can only
exactly.
I can only give you the trailer, not the entire movie.
Yes, we don't want it as well. I don't want to be spoiled sport. Yes, so let our audience have that beauty of opening it up themselves. So great. Okay, so what is your favorite moment and the moment which is a game changer, in depicting the image of a woman?
Again, this is another very pinpointed question, but a very
Mm-hmm.
nice question that has come from your side. It is actually difficult to talk about one moment
Mm,
because, as an author, I have designed and created all the moments.
okay.
And you know, the novel starts wherein she
Mm,
falls at an early age, she falls in love with a guy called Rajan. Her
mm,
predicament for Rajan in her initial years of life and the support she gets from her mother to handle the situation is praiseworthy. And
mm.
only a woman can support a woman. This is a very strong message in the novel.
Okay.
And the game changer when you talk of, when we are
Mm,
talking whether Misha and Shiv will be able to meet each other or not,
mm.
that is the game changer. You need to focus
Okay.
how they meet, or will they be able to meet or not? Because that is one point where I want to remain silent. But since you
Okay.
have asked me, how and where are the immediate queries that comes from the reader, but whether the destiny wants them to meet or not, you need to read it.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
the reader needs to find out what happens actually.
Yes. So that's a great suspense. So that is definitely a game changer. After having gone through, usually
Right,
you have put us so much in suspense, like, not able to predict, because you have put Misha as such a strong character where
yeah,
we usually predict that, she may not, come back, things like that. But then you kept it open, saying that she may or may not. So
right.
now the suspense begins actually. Great. Okay. Okay. Do you really think that emotional stability depends on the kinds of structures that are already built in the society? Like, marrying a good husband, good looking, good job, and the standards set, usual standards that are set in the society. So, do these things dictate the emotional stability in women?
I don't know. In fact, you should ask this question. This does not relate to my novel because this is
Hmm.
a very subjective thing.
Yeah.
To get a good husband, to get a good looking person, to get a good job, the standards set in our society it is something which I'm not
Hmm.
going to delve on this
Yeah.
because emotional stability, of course, it is very important in any individual's life.
Hmm.
But I have put a thrust, I have focused more on financial stability of a woman.
Mm, exactly.
Because once the financial stability comes, it actually helps her to
To
combat the
have.
challenges in life.
Yes.
And once you are financially sound, you
Mm,
have the support from all corners and you get the emotional support as well. So,
exactly.
what is important for a woman is that she should be self dependent, she should be financially sound, she should be financially stable,
Yeah.
and if she is able to combat the challenges in a day to day life,
Exactly.
according to me, I think women have their own choices and that needs to be respected as well.
True. True.
So
Superb.
they should be allowed. They should be
Mm,
allowed to make their own choices. They should be respected for it.
yeah.
And if anybody is ignoring them, it is their botheration. So I
Exactly.
again want to come back or
Mm,
reiterate that individuality of a person, leave aside the gender,
mm,
whether he
mm.
or she, individuality should be respected. Here, in my
Agree.
novel, it is Misha.
Mm, okay. Great. So Misha is going to be a definitely an inspiring lady for a lot of people out there, for sure. Like you said, it is yes. I even it's I vote for financial stability more than emotional stability, because like you said, it is exactly that financial stability that made the difference, whole difference in women of the past and women of the present. So the women got more economically stable and financially stable. That's when their thought process, or their emotional strength have come into the picture. Otherwise, see, when they're not emotionally stable, there is no point, they don't, where do they get the strength to, hold on to their decisions firmly? So when they're
I'll, I'll
financially,
just I'll just
hmm,
intervene just to add,
hmm, yeah,
you see the in olden times or when we were kids,
hmm,
the only earning member was a male member in the
Yeah,
family.
true. Yes,
And the entire family used to be dependent on them,
exactly.
on that particular person. Because if anything
Mm-hmm.
happens to the earning member of that family,
Mm,
the entire family is shattered.
yes.
So the emotional stability, when we are talking of, if you see of a woman,
Mm-hmm.
she is the one who is already dependent on a man
Man,
for any
yes,
sort of earning.
exactly.
But now this thing is going by and by.
Yeah, yeah.
Things have changed
Yes,
and we need to accept it.
true, true.
Even for
Exactly.
women, they are
Mm,
also aspiring high, they are doing good. And
yeah.
I personally believe that they should be given more opportunities in life. So, even if it is their personal life or professional life,
Mm-hmm.
if a man has got the right to go for a night out or a party, why not a
Mm,
woman?
yeah, true. Those things still have to be changed
Yeah,
because, yes, so far, they have agreed. It's clear and evident that women are, taking places in every other, domain. So, but that still holds back in certain ways where, they don't get the equal rights or still judged. I mean, still, people still judge them when they go to the parties or,
yeah,
that culture is still there. It's still a taboo. So I think that will soon also, definitely will be accepted for sure from the
right,
novels like this. So people get inspired to accept the situations and the strengths of the
exactly.
women.
Yes,
Great. Yes, so kudos to that. On that point, Mr. Sanjeev, it's a very great talking to you on this point because women empowerment, from what your character Misha portrays, is the strength. There lies the strength of a women, the modern women, especially. Being it emotional
correct.
stability or talking about, the financial stability. She has come a long way, and she is definitely going a long way from here. So all the best to all the women out there. Definitely go through this wonderful book. It was very enlightening, especially the women. So it's worth reading for you all. So let's quickly grab the book and go through it. It's available on Amazon, and I think Kindle version is also available, right?
Yeah,
Yes, great. Okay, so before we leave you, Mr. Sanjeev, I want to know what's the one piece of advice you want to give the younger generation when it comes to what is that kind. Okay, to put it more straight, not from the women's point of view, because we have talked so much from the women's point of view, or the journey they have traveled all this way, but what is that one thing that the other people, especially when bringing up the children, the younger ones, so what is that mindset one needs to inculcate in them when they start looking at women.
I have two words for it:
Hmm.
respect and dignity for all.
Yes,
This is
perfect.
very important in life.
Hmm.
If you want to be respected in society, you need to
Hmm.
respect others.
Yes.
I'll say in Hindi, where my father used to tell me,
Hmm.
जीवन में अगर दो मीठी बोली और थोड़ा सा सम्मान अगर किसी को मिल जाए तो वो
Hmm.
तुम्हारा हो जाता है.
Exactly.
So
Superb.
this is something which is very important.
Hmm. Hmm.
And the younger generation should develop respect for any individual.
Yeah.
Again, I am emphasizing the word individual. I'm not talking about gender.
Yes.
Time and again, I have been focusing on the word individuality and individual. I've never
Yes.
said gender, he or she.
Yeah.
So once you develop the respect for each other,
Hmm.
things will work out. And we need to teach our younger generation that if you want to move in the society with dignity,
Yeah.
you need to respect others.
Yes. Exactly. Very beautifully put, I would say. Thank you so much. That's very, very wonderful. Especially that message, like emphasizing on the word individual. Actually, there's much deeper meaning to it. It's not gender bias is not something, or gender equality is not something like we have to look at it because, but before even being going to those terms, it is much more important to treat everybody as an individual. So that makes all the difference. So women is an individual, or man is an individual for that matter. So as long as they are treated as two important individuals and the respect supposed to be the same for both of them, it doesn't matter what gender are there. So both are equal in every which way. So that is a great point, I would say. In fact, that I would say that's a highlight point.
Thank you.
Having tagging it as individual, beautiful. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Sanjeev, on that beautiful advice to the younger generation. Ladies and gentlemen, have that respect to the individual, not a man or not a woman. So everybody has to be equally respected to gain the equally respect back. So thank you so much for such valuable inputs and taking time out to share your experiences and knowledge to our lovely audience. And that beautiful book, Deadlock, is amazing to grab and go through it. So all kudos to that on that beautiful book, and we'll be looking forward. So
Yeah,
okay, ladies and
certainly.
gentlemen, yes, thank you so much.
In fact, I'll thank you, Swarna, and your
Mm,
team, and particularly my director of the publishing house, Hybro Scribes, Mrs. Vandana Palli,
yeah,
who organized this show, who brought me in this platform to interact with the readers and to tell them about my book. This was
exactly.
the opportunity which I think that I have seized in order to reach out to the audience. And I, of course, thanks to your entire team from the core of my heart for providing
Thank
this
you.
opportunity. Of course,
Thank
I'll
you.
like to thank my wife also here because
Yeah,
she
yeah,
has been in my journey all through. And
exactly.
there is an old adage, as you know, that behind every successful man, there is a woman.
Lies a
In my
woman,
case, it
yeah.
is true because my
Mm,
wife has always inspired me to write, and she is the one who is always encouraging me to pen new things in day to day life. So I'm very much thankful. And in the making of Deadlock also, Mrs.
mm,
Vandana Palli, at day in and day out, she has been a great support. I am
yeah.
really thankful to her once again. Thank you so much. Thank you, audience. Thank you, everybody. Thank you,
Thank
people.
you. Thank you, Mr. Sanjeev. And on that note, we are also equally grateful to Vandana Pali because she is giving a lot of authors a wonderful opportunity to bring out their work to the public. So thank you so much, Miss Vandana, for the great efforts you have been putting. And we are glad that we have met you, and we're happy to bring these wonderful authors onto the show and bringing out their beautiful work and made available to the public. So we have some beautiful comments coming in, and thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for all the love, support you have been showering on us, and I hope you enjoy the session as much as we loved doing it. So thank you so much, and see you all next week. Yep, thank you.